Good morning, people. Frelin Arts, Subprime Hero. I'm here with my homie.
Ramirez, the car guy.
Wow.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Back, Freddie.
I'm back.
Back, everybody.
Got in late last night. Probably ended at the house a little after 11. And man, I'm tired, but I'm not that tired. Actually, I feel really good. I got a great night worth of sleep. The bed at where I was at was not the best bed in the world. I slept on the couch one night just because it was. So that being said, I am so much happier after sleeping in my own bed after a few days of being away from it. My own pillows, my own everything. There's something beautiful about having your own. You know, that's part of that. But the thing, guys, that you have to realize that sometimes to enjoy good things, you have to be uncomfortable, right? We talk about this a lot. Being uncomfortable, finding pleasure in being uncomfortable, embracing uncomfortable. And I did that, this week, it was a lot of fun. We the hard bed, but I was like steps from the beach. Mm-hmm. Would I like to have both? Eat my cake and eat it too, or have my cake and eat it too? Yeah, I would totally love that.
Who doesn't want that? But
guess what? Did not happen, and that's okay. And I'm fine with that because I had a great time with my family. It was amazing. I'm so excited to be back. We'll talk about it some more right after we get back from our beautiful video break. Enjoy it. Get yourself. Focus. Fly. Keep growing. Yeah.
Car guys, welcome back to Solutionary Central.
We are back.
Hear that? We
officially back.
And we're inside of the cafe, ready to do what it is. Charles Higgins, what is going on,
bro? We got Charles Higgins. We got Eric Isham. What's up, bro? Eric Isham, guys. So you guys, anybody out there listening to the show right now, watching the show, which it's starting to pick up a little bit. We just got going. I just shared it. If you can share this for me. But Eric Isham, great person, folks. Let me tell you a little bit about this guy. This guy is somebody that I went to high school with. We graduated the same year. Our class actually has a lot of great graduates, a lot of amazing people. His best friend, Billy Reddy, or Bill Reddy is what he goes by now. He doesn't go by Billy anymore. But Bill doing some amazing stuff. He, came up with Venmo, did some stuff like that. That's Eric's best friend. Eric himself is a huge entrepreneur himself. He's got his own business called Omni Commander. I absolutely love the culture of Omni Commander. Eric Isham is running a business, and I'm throwing little props out to him because I'm very proud of this guy. He's running a business with employees that absolutely are fans of what they do. They love their business. They love helping people. They are solutionaries. I'll be honest, Eric, I'm gonna give you a little bit of credit. I give a few people credit for doing what I do now. I started doing this podcast. I started doing social media more. And a lot of it had to do with watching what you were doing with your team, watching the videos that you were coming up with. I even watched some of the tips on how to record good videos with the iPhone. Those are tips I learned from Eric Isham and his team. So props to Omni Commander. Props to Eric for doing his thing. His company it's still young, yet they're blowing up. They're winning awards everywhere. He works with credit unions, folks. If you need your website fixed and you're part of a credit union, you need to hook them up. Our local bank, Fort Knox Federal, who switched to Abound, made a huge mistake by not going with Omni Commander. I still think their marketing is horrible.
Huge.
Their logo is horrible. If they would have went to Omni Commander, they'd be rocking the best logo, the best name. Everything would be going great. So props to Eric Isham, man. Good morning to you.
Good
Charles
morning,
Higgins, my brother. I love Charles, new friend of ours, guys. He is a great person. Y'all need to be checking out his social media. Link up with him on LinkedIn.
Filled with value.
No doubt.
Every single time.
Hey, there's
From
and then down under, Michael. We're gonna have Michael. Here's a future guest right here, guys. This is Michael. He's gonna be on our show very soon. We're gonna be bringing some information about car sales from Australia area.
Yes.
And he's going to be going over those things. He is a huge digital marketer down there. He's doing some stuff. He's a fastly growing business. I hope that I could somehow be part of what he's doing. I really would love to get to know the whole Australian market a little bit more. I'd like to get to know Michael a little bit more. And I know we're starting to get to know each other, but we're going to have a good opportunity here soon once we get our interview, which Michael, be ready for an email here this week. I'll probably be trying to set it up next week to do this interview with you. So let's get this thing going. And then here's a former guest of ours.
Another solutionary. I got
Chase.
You want to say what's up to this week? Give him his
Did you go drop off a shirt for him?
Shirt, looking good.
Nice.
It was good. The excitement in the air of how much month there is to have some success and have a great time is definitely inside of that dealership. So I love seeing solutionaries that are excited to be doing big things. But yeah, Chase was doing good, filled with smiles all throughout the showroom. Man, it was exciting to get around, see some other people throughout the area, know that Fred is plugging in and getting kind of pulled away with the family so that they can do what it is that they need to do, build memories, have some fun, get uncomfortable, but grow in the midst of it. I'm sure that there were long talks, long walks, just overall things that you're going to be able to point back to and be able to say, remember when we had that talk over there at the beach? You remember when we were on that long ride and we talked about this? Great memories that I'm sure that they built up. And I'm excited for that because I know how valuable it is even in my own life. But if it's going great with Fred, things are great with me because, I love my brother and love him having a good time, just like these guys. Yeah.
So, and before we get any further, you guys see our shirts. These shirts are available right now, and they've been available actually at the Car Guy Coffee Cafe. Go to our carguycoffee.com, go to our swag shop. Make sure you guys order one of these shirts. These shirts are hot. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. It even has our logo on the arm with color on it, which is nice. Wow. But the Forgive, Focus, Fly. Lou, let's get this thing started. We haven't done that yet. We need to get the first things first. You know what's up.
You know what to do. From the continent of Australia to North America.
We're going to have footage of Mr. Dooley here soon doing it.
World. No doubt. We are going to apply 3 Fs to make sure that we keep growing, everybody. So let's go ahead and wipe off the weight of unforgiveness or just the dust of yesterday. Focus on where it is that we want to go and fly to heights we haven't even dreamed of yet. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing. Keep growing.
Yeah. Yes. Car guys. Woo. This is going to be another great week that you're going to be able to point back to. It's only Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. So if any of you know some good taco spots, go get you some of that. I actually had tacos yesterday, but Mexican is definitely a place.
I mean, if you're in Mexico, it's just food, right? So, but speaking of uncomfortable folks, and that's kind of a good theme to go on real quick. Great vacation. Just got back. Literally pulled in 11 o'clock last night. We had initially had our vacation plan to go down south. We were going to go hit up Alabama, Fort Morgan area. We usually go right over Fort Morgan, maybe Dolphin Island. We like to be more that secluded beach where you're kind of like all by yourself on the beach. So we were looking for that type of vacation. So we booked a vacation at one place about 2-3 months ago. We had it booked. We were ready to go. Everything was wonderful. And then a hurricane came up about a month ago. Well, those homes, they still under repair. A lot of these homes, there are still issues with them from all the flooding and all that stuff that happened there. And, obviously wind damage. Well, the person that we were renting from calls us like maybe 3-4 days before we had to leave and says that there's no way we can have it ready. It's just not ready. So we have to refund your money. So they refunded our money. Great. So we had to look for something else that wasn't torn down in flood issues. So we found somewhere else in Fort Morgan. We were real excited about that because it was very hard to find. So we did that. We're all excited. And then the day that we were going to leave, the governor of Alabama issued all travelers, all out of staters, all vacationers, you are directed to leave the state, or at least leave the area. So they wouldn't allow anybody to stay in the area or come down to that area unless you were local. The day before we were going to leave. So we had a call, get that canceled because that was getting ready to happen. We couldn't come down. The hurricane was coming up. And then literally at 10:20, the night before we were leaving, we left at 5:00 the next morning. We've booked a place in Myrtle Beach because no hurricane was coming that way.
Coming in clutch.
We've never been as a family. I thought it would be cool. So we did it. It's a little bit longer drive, like 3 hours. Oh my God, 3 hours more drive. If any of y'all know what that's like when you get like to 8 hours and then you add another 3 to that, that's pretty hard, but it's still worth it. And it was so speaking of that, all this stuff is uncomfortable. All these things are like reasons why you could throw your hands up in the air and say, I'm over it. Or you could say, this vacation is going to be horrible. It's already started off bad. Well, I thought it was kind of fun. I thought it was a cool adventure, something new. We had to be creative. We had to do things on the fly. We had to be quick-witted with it, but we had to maintain positivity because it's our family. And the most important thing, it doesn't matter where you go. Sort of. I do like nice places. But what really and truly and absolutely matters is being with your family and enjoying those times and not making stress over little things. So we did it. We made the trip. We got there safely. We drive all the way down to Myrtle Beach. We make it there. We get to our resort. It was pretty cool. We got to hang out. I had my sister and her daughter, my brother and his wife and his son. And then, of course, me, my wife, and my son. And, man, great time. We ate seafood every day. We went to the beach every day, even did a little bit outlet shopping. Why not, right? And it was a good time. I wish it was a little longer, but I wish every vacation was a little longer. I don't think anybody wishes anything less than that. But I'm so happy to be back. I'm excited to get this party started again here in the cafe, also back at the dealership. I'm excited. But that thing, it got me to embrace uncomfortable. And that's something that you all need to do. Don't strut or whatever the word is on things. Don't stress things on little things that you have no control over. Pick what you have control over. We had control over canceling and rebooking. Okay. We had control over our attitudes. We had control over picking a newer destination, which was pretty exciting. And we had to do it on the fly. So we focused on those things. We had a great time. We get down there. We didn't focus on, this isn't the same. We didn't necessarily have the private beach that we're used to. We didn't have any of that, but what we did have is each other. And what we did have was a great time. So I was super excited about that. I'm so excited to be back. I'm excited to be back and be safe. My son's went to basketball conditioning this morning, so on and so forth. Great time, but forgive, focus, fly, and all that stuff. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to get this week started. I know that I can't wait to get back to the dealership. I'm the finance director there, so there is going to be tons of paperwork for me to clean up and also deals for me to fund and figure out what's going on in funding. But that makes the day go by quicker.
Definitely going to not have to cook up some stuff to really work on. You got to.
There's plenty of stuff to work on. Yeah, so always. I'm excited about that. We got Jake Bishop just jumped in. Yup.
What up, Jake?
Seafood. Jake's my dude. I really can't wait to go and sit down and have a cup of coffee with you in person, man, because you're absolutely an amazing person with great energy. No, he's not. And it's right up the street, and he's doing some great stuff. Crab all day. Yes, sir. Dude, I had like 2 different style crab cakes just while I was there, but I eat a lot of raw oysters. I eat a lot of, calamari. I eat everything that comes from the sea just about. So great times. Enough about me and my vacation. It was great. There's plenty of pictures I posted online. I basically posted like one group of pictures every single day. I didn't like to get too much into that, but it was fun. So, but no, I had a great time, and I'm glad to be back, like I said, and I'm glad to be here in the cafe with Lou. So let's get this thing started. So what is the big deal right now in the world, folks? What's going on with you? Is there any issues going on? Do you have any problems in the dealership? Is there something that we can help you with? If there is, I'm happy to throw a tip at you. If there's nothing, we understand too. Some of us, it's okay to be too scared to tell people that you have issues. I have issues. I ask for help all the time. You should ask for the same. But no, enough.
Put that in your cup.
Put that in your cup and sip on it. Yeah.
Car guys, you know the deal. What we're ultimately trying to find a way to do, and that's get ourselves positioned to where we can shine light in dark places, clean the corners out, This is a early episode. Yes, Joey, it is, especially for you. You're on California time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Joey,
Joey, my brother, love you.
Sundays is when we do our late ones. We're starting to try to do early ones on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And sometimes we do a late one on one of those days. Depends on if something happens in the morning when one of us can't make it, then we'll just wait to that night. So it's all adjustable. Yeah. But our plan is early brews Tuesday, Thursday, late brew on Sunday. And it's working pretty good. We like it. It's a good mix. You know, the early ones are a little different, but we enjoy them, and we tend to get a little bit better audience sometimes. But you know, it's not what it's about to us. It's not about how many people are viewing. It's about how many people can we impact. If it's just one, it's worth it.
Midnight in Australia right now.
It is midnight in Australia.
So that's more like when we're used to chopping it up, and throwing things.
Michael, that's how we normally do it at our side. We're usually doing it at midnight and recording. Lou and I, when we first started this was a very late thing. We would do this from like 11:30 at night, 11:30 at night to like 2-3 in the morning. We've gotten better at it, so we've been able to consolidate it down to a couple hours. And you know, and if it's longer, now it's usually because we're hanging out. But it used to be 3-4 hours of us just working on editing, making sure this was done right, making sure this was edited here, making sure this video was hit, recording these extra stuff. We need to get back. We need to get back to doing our TikTok dance videos. We haven't done one in like probably 2 months. That's pretty sad to say. I throw stuff on TikTok every day. Pretty much when I do my quick brew, I just throw a copy of the quick brew on there just to have stuff going on in TikTok. But we need to start doing our dances. I miss them, man. I need to go back and do those. Those are a lot of fun. Lou we used to sit here like we'd be dead tired, like 2-3 in the morning. Like before you leave, let's do a TikTok. It would take us 30 minutes to get the right edit on that. Though we would sit here like, oh, real quick. 30 minutes later, we try to record the same dance like 20 times. We're like, a little bit better. And it always was the best one. Was always the first one, and you can't keep them. So it's always like, oh, we should have just kept that first one. Oh, well, let's do it. So, you know, that's just how it goes down. I love the early ones, Charles says. I appreciate that, Charles. Charles is awesome. He was on our show with Lou on Thursday.
Yes.
It was on Thursday morning when I was traveling. I got to come on, but I just missed Charles. Charles just got off. So I apologize I couldn't make it on when you were on there, but I had stopped at a rest area. We were letting my brother's dog walk. And
beautiful dog.
Yeah, he's a cutie, man. I actually got to know him a lot more this week. So he was an interesting pup. He's a cutie, man. He's got a personality.
They grow on you, don't they?
He's big.
Man, they grow on you.
He's big. Yeah, he's a good looking dog.
Love you so much. But man, it's awesome that doodles are coming soon. So Fred might get himself a golden doodle. I don't know. He might join the.
It would have to be a mini doodle. I don't want a big dog. I think I want a small one.
Speaking of minis that turn into big dogs, I know we're jumping totally off of the subject, but this is a car gal, so I guess it would be in reference to it. Capital One rep Marcy is somebody that saw my doodle as a puppy, said, I want one to be like that always, bought herself one, and she needs to call this breeder because it's as big as Toby. So it's like a standard size.
It's supposed to be a mini?
Full dog, yeah. So it's supposed to be, you know, this little tiny little toy dog almost. But
oh, Marcy, she still loves that dog.
I mean, it is the most identical looking to Toby I've ever seen so far. It's pretty awesome. But
that's real cool.
There's going to be more doodles coming because, you know, my doodle's a stud. So he's going to have some kids and there's going to be a little bit to go around. So if any of you guys want a golden doodle, let me know. We might have one available for you soon if Freddie doesn't land that.
I would be a little bit. I had 3 dogs. One of mine passed away about 1.5 years ago. She was my oldest. She was 14-year-old Rottweiler. I loved her. Her name was Mia. She was my baby. She grew up with my son, and when she passed, it broke my heart. So it's still hard for me. I have 2 other ones. I have Winnie. She's a Mastiff mixed with the Mountain Cur. Beautiful. She's just a sweet teddy bear. And then the other one, little Butters. She's a Havanese was supposed to be hyperallergenic, but she's the short hair version, so they're not hypoallergenic. Oh, she sheds like a banshee. My wife hates that because she was really wanting to have a non-shedding dog. So, but she's my baby too. They're both getting up there. Winnie's 9 and Butters is about 6 now, I think. So they're getting older, and it's time's flying by. But I love them puppies. They're my babies. Absolutely my babies. If for all y'all dog lovers out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Do us a favor. Share a picture of your dog. Drop it in the comments.
Drop it in the comments.
Say, hey, this is my dog. This is my car dog, right? And we'd love to see those and just get some smiles going. Anytime that you look at a dog, it's just easy to smile.
Let me tell you what I'm excited about, folks. I'm excited because, I've been working really hard at the dealership trying to get people to get more into the social media thing. to include my management, everything. And I found Matt's finally on the ball. Matt's been motivating himself, but I think he sees what we've been doing, and he's starting to be like, okay, it's just something I just need to do. And he does. And he's been sharing me videos on YouTube. I need to try to figure out a way to download them. I think I got to pay for it.
We just need to get with him and
get those videos better, because I edited one. I have like 2 or 3 more that I want to edit and put out there because I want to use it for this. And folks, I'm going to give you guys a quick this is one I already put out. I'm going to show it to you guys really quick, but this is Matt's very first video. Matt, you could tell he was it's his first one. He's kind of nervous. He's reading off to the side, probably looking at his notes or whatever, right? So that's something that I'm going to work with Matt, and Matt knows he's going to get better, and he's already gotten better. I've already seen his other 2. They're much smoother, and he's already starting to be more flowing, and he's starting to, really pay attention to the camera, put more energy into it. But he's thinking deeply when he's doing it because it's a process in it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't do that. I get my point and I freestyle it. You guys maybe you notice it, maybe you don't. But all my quick brews are 100%. The idea comes to my head. I might come up with a couple little things as I'm starting to, today my quick brew is going to be, keep your head up. And then when I'm going to think of a couple quick points, but then I just go record and it just comes. And I just know that I have about a minute, maybe a minute and a half to just let it out. The hardest thing ever, though, is when I went live, because I got one take. Mm-hmm. So far, though, I have to say I'm very excited because so far out of all those videos that I've done live, there's only been one that I felt like, I really screwed the pooch on that one. And it was one where I was doing my whiteboard quote, and I said it wrong because I'm trying to read it through my camera. So it's all backwards. And then it was a long quote. And then at the end, I did it again. I said, I messed up. Let me read that quote. I reread the quote, and I still read it wrong. But I went through it. And I just act like I didn't. I just kept going. And I knew it. I was like, I just said it wrong again. Like, okay, yeah, the point, folks. This is a great quote because, but it's okay. Be authentic. And that's something that I would give a tip to Matt. But guys, I want you to watch this video. If you're watching, all 2 of you, if you're watching and you see this, put some comments in here. Let us know what you think Matt should work on, or what maybe some things that you want to hear from Matt. Matt is one of our mentors. Matt is very, very good at training. He's extremely good at it. He's very talented. He's gifted when it comes to the process of thinking like a customer. Extremely gifted, and he's somebody that can really help you out. He definitely helps me out. He's definitely said a lot of stuff to me that's made me motivate myself, which in turn, it's weird because it's weird how you could say stuff to people and you may not do those things, and then the other person does them, and then you start realizing I need to do them too. And I think that's kind of what happened with Matt and I. I'm not saying Matt was lazy or he didn't do things, but Matt knows he should have been on social media. Matt knows that he should be using these platforms. Matt knows he should be putting out videos to help people because that's all he wants to do. He wants to be somebody that helps other people. That's what he loves to do. So that being said, check it out.
Enjoy this.
Hey guys, Matt Damos here with 5 tips on how to create positive momentum in your life. Are you ready? Number 1, always feed, strengthen, and train your mind. Start reading a book, 30 minutes a day. An audio book maybe, just on your way to work and back home. Maybe a positive video, something that's going to teach you something new, or maybe even challenge some of your old limiting beliefs. Number 2, feed, strengthen, and train your body. Energy is your greatest asset. The more energy you have, the more results that you can create every day, both in your life and those people around you. Number 3, find a great role model. Learn from people that are already getting results in whatever it is that you are trying to pursue. Number 4, proximity is power. It kind of ties into number 3. However, this isn't just reaching out to them, but this is actually hanging out with those people who are already getting massive results in the area that you want. And the 5th tip is always give much more than what you ever expect to receive. I'm Matt Damos, and this has been your Mentor Moment.
See what I'm saying? About that. Very first video. That's pretty good. I absolutely love it. And it's great points. Those 5 points are important for growth. And that was CGC approved. Get you some. So honored to have Matt doing these videos for us now. He's part of the team. He always was. He just was, just not named. I've talked about Matt all the time, though. We talk about him. We've had him on the show.
He was our first guest.
But he is committed to making me a video every day. And I'm going to start using those videos to, to motivate and use those for other people, because his voice needs to get out there, because he is a big, like I said, I am Fred Lenard's the subprime hero. I made this path to where I'm at now, and a lot to do with Matt Damos. I worked for Matt Damos's company. He put me under his wing. He tutelaged me and taught me so much stuff. Tutelaged me, and he taught me so much stuff. And he did things like, I mean, I'm serious. Like, when I first, and Lou can attest to this. I worked for Matt for a year and a half. When I left, Matt said I sucked. I get it. I wasn't really lighting up the world when I left either. I was probably doing 10 cars. So I wasn't like a superstar. I was making great money. Grosses were fantastic. I mean, it was to the tune of like $90,000+ already just off that, 10 cars. But the thing is, I left, right? So when people leave, you think that a lot of times when you leave a dealership, it's a bad mistake, right? And when I went to the first store, but it wasn't. I learned. I was making good money. I wasn't making great money. It was less money than I was there. But I was there for 3 months. I learned some stuff. Then I went to another store. Went to this other store. I tried to get Lou to come work with me after I was there for a little while. And then I talked smack about Matt. He sucks anyway. Bump him. All this stuff. And this is just being honest. Then Lou came work for me, and then worked with me. Then we went out and we went on the road. Lou went out first, and he calls me and says, "You need to come." So I go out on the road. We're traveling, doing these staffed events. And then things happen. I had to leave the company I was with. Lou goes to this other company, and Lou goes, "Fred, I wouldn't tell you this, but you need to come to this sale. You need to do these sales. You know it. These are great. There's 4 in Louisville this weekend. You need to do this. Let's go, bro." I was like, "I believe you." So I went, and banger. And I was with this for Matt's team. Banger, banger, banger. I hit 4 sales in a row. Bang, 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 bang. Unreal. By the way, not to cut the story short real quick, I'll get back to it, but I'm driving down to Myrtle Beach, and first time I've driven by Stinnett Chevrolet,
Whoa.
Which is the very first sale we ever went to together. Very first sale I ever went on the road. I drove right by it. I was like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen this thing." I told my wife, like, "That's the very first." I said, $5,600. That's how much I made that week. And I never forget. It was my first sale ever. I went out there, had a good sale. The sale wasn't superstar sale. It was an okay sale.
It was an okay sale.
But I made a lot of money that week. Well, good amount of money that week. $5,600 my first week out, and that's what you wanted. You wanted to do about 5 because you were trying to make 20 grand, and that was like the idea. 4 weeks, make 20 grand. So I remember leaving that sale going, ballin', right? Good sale. Weird town, but very good sale. I remember the sun was like on the front thing to hold. It was unbelievable hot. But anyway, but no, I'm so blessed that I got to go to that sale. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot that week about being on the road, about setting up a sale. Learning, we had to learn new scripts. I couldn't say certain things like on the Foursquare. There was they even trained you on how to say the Foursquare the way they wanted you to say it, right? So it was probably the most organized company I was ever part of, to be honest with you. On Point. That was the name of that company.
On Point. They
had booklets for days. They even had shirts for you to wear for dress for setup. You had to wear this white shirt with their logo on it and a pair of Gap khaki pants with pleats.
Anybody remember On Point? Anybody out there?
On Point.
Staffed event come through,
Man,
or have them on there?
They were amazing. Love it. He says he loved the video. Great vid. Keep up the momentum. Yes, sir. Mind, body, influence, and give. Thanks, Brian. Man, what's up, Brian? Good morning, my friend. Man, I appreciate y'all for sticking with us. But yeah, so anyway, what was my story? I was at that point.
So we were passing up Stinnett. Well, that's what kind of got you.
Okay, so I was talking about before that. I was talking about staffed events with Matt. Well, anyway,
right. So we banger.
So then I started working for Matt. We're banging up, and then he offers me an opportunity to be a producer, where I was no longer traveling. I was staying at a home office, and I was calling dealers to try to book sales. So that's where that started. And me and Matt we were cool because I was closing deals all kinds of places, right? We were real cool, and then it was the next level was he asked me to come down with him because he had a sale that the team leader was in the hospital. I can't remember who it was, but he had to go to the hospital, and they had his closer was all by herself and something else. So he asked me to come with them, and he said he'd pay me a flat just to go. I was like, heck yeah, let's go. I got nothing going on this week. So I rolled down with him to Georgia. We get down there, and I crushed it, dude. I was closing for him, and I'm bang, 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 one deal after another. And he was like, all right. So I think right then is when I gained the most respect from Matt, was that trip. Because he knew I was good, but he never seen me work as a closer on the floor. And after that week, he was like, okay, Fred's for real. Because I really was. And it was that's when I think I got the respect from Matt that I always felt like I deserved.
Yeah, there was a lot of time in between him seeing you do great things at the store and that time that he got to see you.
He didn't see the growth that I went. I went through some major growth during that time, confidence growth. killer. I had money in my pocket, all this stuff. I was making great money, busting over $100,000 out of dealership. And he was just like, so he never saw that. So he just didn't realize what I was. And then he did. And he was like, okay, we got a hammer in the makings here. Let's freaking make this work. So then at that point, he always used me for closing or bring me out to sales when they need a little boost, but I still was the producer. But anyway, that being said, long story short, Matt and I are now like best friends. We hang out all the time. We're like brothers. He takes care of me. I take care of him, that type of thing. And it's awesome to see him starting to get out of that small bubble that he was in, that he's part of a huge bubble because his name is known, but he left himself in a small bubble, and now his bubble's gotten way bigger, and he's going to start seeing that. And I'm excited. He got my team. He has my whole team doing videos. He had my whole team on Saturday, which I've been trying to do forever. I think I got 3 or 4 to do at one time, but to do a live all at once. I used to do, my whole point of my lot walks was to have my team out there with me doing a lot walk with me, but none of them wanted to do it. They all started backing out. So I started doing it and then going to them and just started recording, asking them questions. I go to all their offices. I don't know if you guys have ever seen my lot walks, but that's what I do. I try to get them involved, get them in front of cameras, try to get them wanting to talk. But Matt did it, and the general manager, that's how you got to do it. I got to get the general manager involved.
I'm telling you.
Something big about that. So it worked out great. Now this team's starting to do it. I've seen Kerry Morland did another one on Monday. I don't know who else did. I didn't really have a lot of time to look at social media yet. And the more the merrier, folks. The thing is that people are always so worried. Oh, I didn't get enough views. I didn't get enough likes. I didn't get enough this. Well, it doesn't freaking matter. Just put it out there. The likes and views will come. But if just that one person sees your video, which costs you nothing to make, by the way, if one person sees that video and they come in by, and let's say you make $500, wouldn't you say it's worth your time? Let's say that you spent in the last month. So let's say for 25 days, because you got a few days off during the month, right? So for 25 days in 1 month, you spent 5 minutes. 5 freaking minutes. Think about that. That's it. So you're talking about 125 minutes. So no, is that right? 5 minutes.
I'm a calculator kind of guy.
Times 25. I'm missing this up. I understand minutes are like 60 seconds or 60, there's 60 minutes in an hour. I always forget. Am I messing up? I'm tired.
He hasn't had enough Corgai coffee yet.
I'm doing my math wrong. Hold on. So 25 times 5 equals. Yeah. So 5 minutes times 25, you're spending an hour and 25 minutes. Okay. So you're talking about an hour and 25 minutes that you're spending in a month. And let's say that you make one deal out of it. It's $500. That's the average at our store. $500 is your commission. So $500 that you make for an hour and a half worth of work. Don't you think that's worth it? So that's bananas money. So that's where you have to balance and figure that out, folks. So a lot of people, they don't see the value in it. I see tons of value. I see huge value in what we're doing. Like this video here, I got 1 viewer right now. And I know that I'm not really worried about that because I know that this video is going to be out there. It's out there forever.
We have more than that. We're on LinkedIn too.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like, I understand that viewers, people get worried about that. I don't really get worried about that. I don't. I never have since day one. It's cool to have a lot of likes. Don't get me wrong. We get excited when we see like one of our videos or one of our posts get hit and it's like a major hit, like 5,000 views. You're like, wow. But I'm okay with just 100 views because there's maybe that one person. Just like if you're a salesperson, maybe there's just that one client that absolutely felt the hurt that you're talking about and needed the relief that you were offering them. So if you can offer that, because you got to remember, people have to have pain in order to do some major stuff. And pain doesn't necessarily mean something bad. Just they need it. You have to make them need something. And when they need it so bad that it gives them pain not to have it, they're going to do whatever it takes to have it. So just make sure you do that. And these videos that you put out there as a sales pro, if you're somebody that just wants to help other sales pro, because our whole thing, I put these videos out, not for income, not for this, not for you. People always ask me what my end game is. They ask me why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I have so much here to share and I'm not sharing. I feel like that sometimes when I do it at work, most of them hear it, but then some of them don't, but that's limited to 10 salespeople. I want to be able to reach out to everybody. Why? The internet, social media, live videos. I could reach out to the world. So why not? If I could help one other person that's from Australia or a person from, England or, New York or California, it's worth it. And I guess what, folks, I have been able to do that. I have been able to reach out and help people from all over the world. I have been able to influence and help somebody have a smile on their face or feel more motivated to do their job. Charles Higgins, for example. Charles Higgins talks about watching our videos, getting pumped up after 20 years in the business, like he started all over again because he's that excited again. That is a testimonial that means so much to me, Charles, and I'll always be thankful for that. But I'm so thankful that you're feeling that way. I'm so thankful that, because that's why we did this, for people to feel that way, for people to get excited about what they're doing. And that's what's really cool about comments like that from Charles, and tons of people from all over the place that have sent me, private messages, posted on my, on these videos. It really warms the heart to the point where I can't wait to do my next video. I can't wait to motivate some more, because if I could touch him, hopefully I'll touch somebody else very similar. And if I can, woo yow. And guess what? Doing all this does the same thing for me. It reminds me to stay accountable. It reminds me to keep growing, to forgive, focus, fly. It reminds me to keep brewing solutions every single day by doing these videos. Holds me accountable, and I appreciate the videos for doing that. And I appreciate, Lou for being on the side and supporting me for this, and just the same way I do for him, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's done nothing but help me fly, literally help me right here, fly. So enough about me.
No, there's a whole lot of truth inside of what it is that Fred is saying, folks. Of course, these things have to be deposited into your own cup for you to sip on, for you to operate on. It's, of course, this isn't, we're not trying to tell you that we're the experts in the best way to do everything totally that there is inside of a car dealership or in social media land. But remember, what you've known and what you've seen and what you've been exposed to from us has solely been an encouragement for you to activate things inside of your business, and things even at the dealership with us, to try to inspire the guys to know that they have a high ticket item that they have to have a frequency of message about in order to be in the right flow of the customer's purchase process. And they have to get themselves out there. If I was selling cars as a salesperson, my approach to what it is that I have would completely be a little different than the posture that I am as a manager. But we encourage them to do the same thing so that they can attain that customer, so that they can attain that client. So much of the weight that gets put on the dealership to have to generate and drum up business could be better balanced the more that each and every salesperson is at marketing their own company, that they have it. I get so inspired by seeing the salespeople of the past that had different products. Like when you watch History Channel, and I know I watch boring stuff, but when you see the men that have built America with food or industry, all of these different things, these visionaries that saw stuff, they made sure to keep themselves present and out there and have samples for people to sip on or taste or feel or try to flow with. That is something that we, of course, have to remember that we have as a people. We have a product. The product that we bring is an upshift and uplift enrichment to your attitude so that you can go enjoy your day. Get past all the garbage. Get past the stuff that distracts you. Get past the limitations that you may feel limit you. They may not actually limit you. You just think they do in many cases, right? But when you start to team up and you start to get past the moments of uncertainty or the moments of insecurity where you don't want to get in front of the camera, you don't want to get the chance to actually do what it is that you say that you're there to do, but the day is in front of you, you have got nothing accomplished, make the video. Let people know where it is that you are. Drop a little bit of encouragement. Find a way to encourage somebody else. It usually, and I mean, almost 100% effectively encourages you, enriches you, gets you moving to a place where you're more positive in your approach to how you go about your day. I mean, Fred does an incredible job of keeping himself refocused on where it is that he actually has a good section of growth and a place of gratitude from, right? He'll go back to focusing on the places where he has to be grateful. Thank you for all of these great things. Whatever is bad at the moment is really only there to distract me, and I know that, so I can own it. I can muzzle that, or I can just shine light on it until it dissipates, until it
Word
goes
up.
completely away. And that's often what happens in the morning, right? You wake up, you may not have that little bit of energy. You may not have that get up and go that you need. So you got to pour a little something inside of your cup.
Oh,
It's a cup of coffee, an energy drink, a tea, whatever it is. You do that in order to rejuvenate, reinvigorate your entire body. Your body sucks that in and then puts it into energy, puts it into a good direction of production. It's just a natural process, folks. And that is exactly what's happening inside of dealerships all throughout the nation. Solutionaries are rising up. People are starting to recognize that having the circle jerks of everybody complaining and whining about why business isn't going where it needs to be, that in most cases does not exist at dealerships that are doing great things. You know why? Because they're focused on where it is that they want to go. They have a clear vision. Each individual person has a clear vision of what it is that they want to do, and they're going after it. But they also have a vision of what the company wants to achieve, and they're going after it. And when those things happen and everybody gets on board, a general manager can step inside of a meeting, have 100% participation inside of everybody going live in social media. Why? Because he believes that it's going to have a benefit to his overall company and to the guys, right? So once that belief starts to spill over,
it's true though. But and the crazy thing is that as much as he believes it's going to help him, he really more cares for helping them, because he knows, and it's simple. If your team is rocking, you're rocking. Bottom line. But if your team, you want your whole team to rock. You want everybody, when you're handing them the mid-month check or end of month check or weekly checks, however you do at your store, when you hand them that check, you want it to be a good one. Is it the worst to ever give somebody like an hourly check, or the draw check? That stinks. And that almost makes me feel like I failed, and that's the thing. But the thing is, if you as a coach are coaching your team up all the time and you're constantly working hard and then somebody fails, you can't really put that blame on yourself. That's them. But if you're not coaching your team and you're not putting the time in with the people who need the time, especially, but which everybody does. I don't care if the guy's selling 30 cars a month. He needs a little bit of your time. He needs to feel wanted and needed. He needs to feel like, hey, this guy's actually cares about things. You are their manager. So remember that. You are supposed to not just manage their work, but also make sure their mental game's good too, man. If their mental game is bad, you need to talk to them. Sometimes a quick conversation just to ask them, hey, how's everything at home? You'd be surprised how much stuff will come out with that. You can ask them, how's work going? It's going good. Are you guys making your phone calls? Yeah, I've made my phone calls. But you can say, hey, everything good at home? Man, my wife's killed. Then they go on. And that's what's really on their mind.
Take them for a walk.
Get that out of them and explain, hey, somebody cares. Everything's going to be fine. But in order to fix everything, you have to have a balanced life. Everyone knows this. You got to have a balanced life and make sure you keep it balanced. Keep your wife happy, keep your home life happy, and keep your work life happy. It all works hand in hand.
Charles says to do like Michael Jackson. And if you don't like what's going on, look in the mirror. Make a change.
Yeah.
Make that change.
Yeah.
Make that change.
He's right. You gotta make that change. And he's right, though. It's if you do not like something that's going on, look in the mirror first to make a change. That's like 99% of the time that's the case. 99% of the time, the stuff that's aggravating you is something that you can literally make a quick change yourself. 1, ignore whatever it is. 2, embrace whatever it is. 3, you find a solution for it through your mind by thinking about it in a positive light instead of a negative light. Sometimes just having a conversation with somebody at work that you're having issues with will change everything, because sometimes you don't realize that it's just a small miscommunication. Nobody realized things. And these are all tips I'm giving out that all of us kind of know, I think. It's kind of common sense. But Charles makes a great point here, folks. Make sure you look at yourself before you, because here's the thing. The only thing you have control over, the only thing is yourself. Is your actions, your mental game, how you feel. That's it. You can't go, I can't make Lou feel bad. I can make him laugh, but ultimately I can't force him to do that. Ultimately, he has to make that decision. Ultimately, he has to react to it, not me. I don't react and then make him react. He reacts himself. So you have to be that way. You have to understand it's you. You having a bad day, it's because you're having a bad day. You're having a great day, it's because you're having a great day. It's all right here in between the ears. And if you make sure that you come in with the attitude of gratitude, your attitude determines your altitude, all that type of stuff. It's so huge. Attitude. Folks, I think we all know this. If you take every letter from the word attitude and you take the numerical value, like A is 1, right? So on and so forth, and T is whatever T is. Mm-hmm. It's whenever you get there and you add those all up, it adds up to 100. Every letter, like boom, boom, boom. Once you pull all the numbers from them and you add them up, it's 100. So 100% of the time, your attitude is going to make sure that is going to determine everything that you do. If you do not have the right attitude, then it's going to really put, warts on it.
and attitude is also towards thought. It's not just whether you're perky and pumped up.
Right.
Right.
Agreed.
It's also towards thought.
Yep.
It's or towards being open to new understanding.
Yep.
If you get in front of a customer and you are affected by their attitude, that makes it to the management. They get to see it. They know something's up, something's wrong. That is backwards of what has to happen with you as a leader. Every salesperson is a leader, or at whatever level it is that you're in sales, you are a leader. Whether you're managing or you're handling customers directly, you're leading people into a decision that there's so many levels of uncertainty that can approach their way of thinking that you're there to help overcome, right? So it is so important that you find a way to help lead them confidently, but not getting affected by what it is that they're carrying. Your mindset has to be so on a different level than where it is you're trying to take them up from. The only way you're going to pull them up is if your thinking is at a different level than theirs. You can't have low grade thinking, valley thinking at the top of the mountain. You have to have the foresight and understanding that whatever it is that they're bringing, my attitude towards it has to be positive. My attitude has to be that there's going to be great success. And sometimes great success for the customer that you're in front of doesn't happen today. And so many salespeople get afraid of whether or not they can make it happen today. Don't get me wrong. I'm not getting rid of the sell what's available today flow, right? You want to close your car deal ASAP, whatever deal it is that you're working in sales, you want to close that quick. But sometimes things take a little work. Sometimes things take a little bit of a process. So you got to plan your long game out better. And people like Charles Higgins are 20-year vets that have played the long game and have consistently found a way to succeed, but know the importance of finding a way to reinvigorate your attitude and your mindset so that you can be a better benefit to the person that's trusting you. What is he saying in the example? If you don't feel like there is teamwork at your business, look in the mirror and ask yourself how you are providing the example of teamwork. Be the leader, be the example.
Agree.
Wow.
And that's something that I think some people do instinctively and some people have to be taught this. Yes. I think that I've been fortunate enough to where I kind of do this instinctively. I like to be a leader. So whenever I get I could be a new guy, but I'm going to prove myself as fast as I can. And when I do, at that point, I'm going to start trying to take leadership things. I'm going to start leading by example. I'm going to ask the guys, like on the floor, for example, let's go balloon the lot. I'm going to make sure that happens. I'm not going to be that guy that sits back and watches people do it. I'm going to probably be the one that gets the pep rally going on. Hey guys, let's get these balloons going. Come on, let's get some music. Let's have some fun. That's just a small example. Go around, pick up the lot, go around, everything, teamwork. When somebody's out there and their customer shows up, but they're with another one and they need some help with something, I'm going to help them. I'm not going to just say they'll be with you in a minute. I'm going to do what it takes to get things going because I'm a team member. I'm going to help you because I know if somebody comes in and I'm busy, you're going to help them. But it all starts with one person doing it. If no one's doing it, then everyone's just like, no, I'm not going to do that. He doesn't do it for me. But if you do it that one time, it shows initiative. That's exactly like Charles is saying, is that you have to look at yourself. And sometimes things may not be going the way you want, but if you start stepping up and you're that guy, then other people will start stepping up too. It's kind of like being in the in crowd. If you're not in that in crowd, you feel weird, right? So make the in crowd team. Make it more like a team environment instead of a I environment. We all make our own checks. Salespeople, we are salespeople. I get it. We are our own business. But when you have a team together, working together, you will make more money. You will help more people. You may not, a lot of people are like, oh, I only work my own stuff. Well, yeah, go ahead. But I'm talking like everything else. Be a team member. Don't sit there. It's like in our dealership, we have a refrigerator with bottled water in it. It drives me nuts when a salesperson grabs the last bottle and doesn't refill the fridge. It's like, bro, are you that busy? You can't just go grab a case of water and throw it in. It takes 5 minutes. Throw water in there. Just be cool. No, they don't do it. Every time it's like, and I love you guys. My teams know it. But the thing is that the little things, take pride in your lot. Take pride in your stuff. Be a team member. You see a piece of trash on the ground when you're walking by it on the lot, pick it up. I know it's kind of a weird time to pick up trash right now. I get it. But all you got to do is pick it up, throw in the trash, go wash your hands.
It's got to get picked up.
It needs to. You know,
Still
your customer sees that exact same piece of trash as they walk by. Imagine what they're thinking. Well, this place is crappy. That's how you would feel if you went to Disney World and everywhere was trash, cigarette butts everywhere on the ground, and empty water bottles just sitting here and there. Wouldn't you think this place is nasty? That's what people see when you walk in a dealership and you don't pick up after yourselves. You don't clean up and have pride in your lot. They're like, this place is nasty. So don't do that. Don't be that person. So,
get you some of that.
Get you some of that.
Pick it up.
Right?
And that's part of the militant flow that we definitely have been trained in. You know what I mean? Pick up that trash.
That shouldn't even be militant. That should just be.
That's common sense.
That should be human beings being clean.
That's how it should be.
Having a good work environment. That kind of stuff gets me, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So, car guys, we do want to make sure that we do challenge you to go forward, have an incredible week, have some fun, find a way to have some fun. Speaking of teams, speaking of that, this week we pulled out the kickball yesterday. It was National Kick Butt Day, and it was awesome to have the guys out there for a meeting, kicking the ball, and we played a game where they usually inside a kickball, you don't want nobody catching your ball. Right? You got to punt that sucker. You got to hit it as hard as you can. And inside of sales, we don't generally work as a team as well. And I believe that going forward, that team aspect 100% is going to be the way that you build your brand to the fullest potential that it can be, is that you fuse yourself with other good brands that are trying to achieve the same thing that you want, which is great stuff that we've been doing with Elite FI. The partners that are doing some great things. Mike Offmuth is a great person beyond what it is that he has as a product.
He's just
beyond who it is that he is as a businessman. Great person that you want to do business with. This brew is also brought to you by Think Ag Group. And you want to get you some of their solutions by just reaching out to us, asking us who to talk to. There's so many different things that they can do to help improve you. Both of these companies that have backed us up and are teaming up with us as we bring a message to everybody that you can have fun and you can look out for other people while you build yourself up. And while we were kicking that ball yesterday, in order for them to score, there was a bag of gift cards. They got to reach in there and get a little lunch gift card for a couple things. The only way that you scored is if you punted it past a certain spot. So you had to kick that sucker, right? And it was caught by a teammate. So as soon as you kicked it, now you're cheering them on to catch it, because the only way you win is if they win or they catch it, right? So in that, it got the guys all plugged in together, rethinking their approach to the way that they would play that game, just like you have to do today inside of your business. Rethink how it is that you have to actually go about finding success. And if it means, like Charles said, you need to look in the mirror, look in the mirror.
Get uncomfortable, folks.
It means you need to crank up the level of light that is emitting from you, crank it up.
Get uncomfortable.
If you have to adjust your attitude, go ahead and adjust your attitude.
Get uncomfortable.
I was almost there. Getting uncomfortable. Folks, it's not just words. It's not just us filling a tape. It's us really trying to penetrate the heart. Hit your chest one time.
Facts.
We want to make sure that you are living a lifestyle that gets comfortable getting uncomfortable.
Period. Folks, I've been doing it pretty hardcore now for almost a year. I mean, it's crazy. This idea came up a year ago. We started probably right around this time last year, started practicing. We started getting our equipment. We started, coming up with our logos, coming up with our finding our song, figuring out what our format of our show was going to be. All this stuff was about a year ago. Man, it's pretty awesome. And our first episode wasn't until January, so we're gonna have our 1 year anniversary on that date. Because that's our official. That's our official date, right? It's so simple, 120, and it'll be 21 when we actually do our 1 year. But I truly believe what Lou and I have been doing has been showing you guys that it works. If you go out there and you put yourself out there and you stay consistent. I mean, if you just stay consistent with passion, of course, you can't just put out, "How you guys doing? I love what I do. Great.
Okay.
Let's brew. Forgive. Focus, fly." You guys wouldn't like that, right? So, and you got to have passion about it. You still got to bring the energy. You got to have the positivity. You have to do all this stuff. It's work, but it helps you. But anyway, if you stay consistent and you keep doing what we're doing and or what we've done, and you do the same thing, whether if you're a salesman, you put out videos, you could do podcasts, bring your clients on. You'd be surprised how excited they would be to come on a podcast with you. Hey, this is Fred, the subprime hero. I'm a local car guy, and I have a podcast that's all about my community and about my family of buyers, right? So today I'm going to bring in a special guest. This was my number one client until yesterday. They came in and they just bought a vehicle. Darn it, now they are no longer my clients. They are my friends. I'm so excited to have my friends here, Bob and Joe. Bob and Joe come on, and they're like, hey, tell me about your experience. Ding, ding, ding. Folks, I think I just gave away $1 million idea. Salespeople need to have podcasts just for it's so simple. You can have so much fun. You can even have this podcast set up at your office, right? They get done. Instead of a testimony, you throw out a live podcast. I mean, I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm just saying you can do something, but you have to stay uncomfortable and keep doing it, but be consistent. You can't just do one video or like one testimonial or two and then never do them again. It's not going to work. But if you do it every time, you make it your process. Like I would get a piece of paper if I was a salesperson. I would type it up and I would have like 20 sheets in my office, and then I'd have the master sheet somewhere else. But then I would my list would be something like, first one would be, this would be for my delivery process. One would be referrals, right? Make sure you get 6 referrals. 2, go over the vehicle with the customer. 3, take picture with the customer in front of their vehicle. 4, testimonial video with customer. 5, send out follow-up welcome cards, whatever, right? I'd have this stuff for my process. Every one of those boxes would be checked. If I do it every single time, not just once or twice, but I do it every single time, after 3 months, you're going to start noticing stuff. After a year, you're really going to start noticing stuff. Then you do it for 2 years. Now you're not having to catching up on the lot anymore. Your clients are coming in left and right. You just tell you could even have your bird dogs go, hey, look, they could be with their friends. Hey, just go to this webpage real quick and look at Fred's Facebook. Yeah, I want you to go in there and like that page. I need you to check it out. Look at these testimonials. Look at my testimonial on there. Look at all these other people. He's got 100 of them on there, and they're all so happy with their purchase. You need to go see him. You see that person you were telling me you're in a bankruptcy? Well, he had 5 of those just last month. Look at those. Every one of them driving away with their key in their hand. Don't you think you should do that? People don't realize what's available for you. They don't know what's out there until somebody shows them what's out there. Testimonials are the best way because you can say, hey, just like every card ad out there, man, guaranteed to get approved, $1,000 down, no money down, $10,000 over trade value. No one believes that shit no more. So testimonials with your clients, they believe that, but they may not believe you. Can you blame them? Us car guys have put a bad rep on ourselves over the last, 40 years. We need to stop that. We need to start doing it the right way. And we need to be solutionaries. We need to be car buying coaches. We need to be people who actually care about people. The money will come. And gross is not a bad name. It's not a bad word at all. You should be excited when you make money. And so should everybody. There's nothing wrong with that. You did nothing illegal. You did it all the right way. You're just helping somebody. They just didn't negotiate well themselves. And that's okay. They don't need to. Sometimes I don't negotiate anything when I'm buying something because they did such a good job and I understand the value, and they don't get to make money unless if I negotiate, the money goes away. I'm cool with that. I understand if it's the right value to me. It's all about value. So if you understand that, then make sure you do your job. You build value every single time. You get uncomfortable with your clients every single time. You ask for those referrals. You get them to do the video. You do this, you do that. You send the follow-up. You call the follow-up. You do everything you're supposed to do. You will double your sales in a year. No doubt. You will double your income instantly, if not more, overnight. Because in most cases, you don't just double units. You're going to double your percentages because most places pay you more when you sell more. So think about that. So you're going to more than double your income. So work hard, be uncomfortable, be the guy that does everything in a consistent method. And we're going to talk about more about the consistent method because that is coming out, guys. That is going to be our bread and butter for everybody out there to help you get to the next level. It's not going to be free. I'm going to tell you this. This method we will tell you what the method is, but if you want to be coached on it, Lou and I are going to have a program just for you, and we will help you. We will make sure that you get to that next level, that you are consistent, that you can do what we're doing now, that you can make the money that we make. You can be that person who gets to influence other people. You can be that person who holds themselves accountable. You can be that person who's not lazy anymore. You can be that person who is the subprime hero and the car guy, because all of you guys are that. The only difference between me, Lou, and you right now is that we're just doing it. We believe in ourselves and we use our consistent method.
And some of you are doing it. And we definitely want to make sure that we unite you with other people that are trying to get that get up and go that they're needing, right? That is helping build them to where they need to go. Sometimes you need to apply the jump box. Sometimes there's really nothing wrong with your battery except it just got a little bit cold, right?
Dude, you're going to have bad days. I have bad days all the time. It's okay. But don't make it the whole day. You know what I mean? Like, take that moment, think about why you're upset, but then start using your gratitude. Start realizing how it's really not that bad. You're alive. You got air to breathe.
Yeah.
You got everything. You got food. You got friends. You got family. You got whatever you need. You got clothes on your back. You know, there's a lot of worse places you could be. So don't just realize no matter how 3 clients said no to you today. Okay. Well, guess what? The next 3, you have pretty good odds of all of them going down. That's called the law of averages. So just remember that if you're doing it right and you're being consistent and you're working hard with the right type of energy at all times, I promise you, the bad stuff will go by quick and the great stuff will be around a lot more because you'll notice it more. You'll feel it more and you'll have that energy to enjoy it more. How many of you all had that or done something and you just I didn't have the energy to do it? Man, it's kind of,
you know what you need sometimes if that's where you're at.
Oh, we already know.
Your consistency is a little light or a little on decaf. You need some caffeinated consistency.
That's damn right you do. You need some of that caffeinated consistency. It's the best stuff in the world. Car Guy Coffee. Go to our coffee shop at our website, carguycoffee.com. Coffee shop. Get you an order. Bags have been shipped now, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
The plan, folks, is to see us by Thanksgiving be inside of all 50 states. And we're moving in that direction.
In Australia,
we're so
too.
Excited about it. Australia, we're crossing.
I wanted to be down there.
Across the world.
Speaking of coffee,
Oceans.
Brian Norris just sent me a little DM on the side over on LinkedIn, and he is a 25-year vet in the car business, but he's also a coffee roaster, and he wants to talk to us. So I'll talk to you soon about that, Brian. That's actually pretty cool. We get our stuff through somebody we know that's a distributor themselves. They have the licenses and all that. So all we did was put our name on it and pick it out, and then she does all the roasting and all that stuff, right?
She handles that. Yeah,
so she handles all that kind of stuff, but definitely would love to talk to you about that. He has his own brew out there, I believe. Let's see. He says to me, he has his own small coffee company called Casa Hogar Coffee Company. Nice.
Good. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yes.
As of right now, car guys and car gals, we are getting ready to, because I'm really at the end of the cup.
I already finished my cup because that's why I'm so jazzed up right now.
Boom, 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 boom. Now he's awake, and now we are ready to challenge you to take this solutionary torch out to the places that you need to light it up. Be the lamps that are held up on a lampstand and emitting light for all to benefit from. You guys are made to do great things. You gals are made to change the world. And the mindset medicine that we hopefully bring to you with the power of positivity hopefully is helping you to be ready to go pour out solutions for everybody that you come in contact with. Find some great success today. I am Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
And I'm Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And you have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast.
You know it.
We are excited to see you soar. Remember, everybody, focus. Go to carguycoffee.com if you want some more of the solutions that we're brewing. More homegrown guests are going to be with us this week. Right now, if you want to go back, listen to Evan Bowles. He is a product of the synergy that we get to have between us, and so are some of the guests that are coming on the way. Some people are doing some really big things you want to find out about, but go listen to some of the great solutionaries that are inside of the Car Guy Coffee Podcast website. There's so much for you to brew on. You can't possibly get through it today, and I guarantee not all of you have 100% Car Guy Coffee sippage done. No, not all of you have heard all of the episodes, so go get you some of those, get you something that invigorates you, gets you moving, and gets you understanding that the mountain that's in front of you can be behind you if you just look at it properly. You guys are incredible. We believe in all of you. Man, welcome back, Fred. Let's get ready to crush it this week.
Let's do it, my friend. Y'all have a good one. As we leave, here's our outro. Our intro is the outro.
Outro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Focus. Fly. Keep growing.
Go have an incredible week.
Yes.
We love you. We honor you all. Thank you for spending some time with us. Go make some great things happen. It's on you now.
It is
Take
on
this
you.
cup and go make something happen.
Yes.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it. Share the great news.
Do
Share
it.
the great news.
Do it.
Share it. Share it.
Do
Share
it.
it. Share it.
All right, y'all. Have a good one. We
Get
appreciate
started.
y'all. Car Guy Coffee. Ooh, let's brew.